Good evening, and thank you for tuning in to Newswatch Ole Miss. I'm Lauren Conley. School is almost over, but there is still time to get your summer body. Students Tyler Moore and Jake Harrison won first place with their exercise device in the university's 15th annual Gillespie Business Plan competition. In more university news, the Confederate statue in the circle still needs approval for its relocation. The Mississippi Department of Archives and History is in the process of issuing a permit for the university. Former Ole Miss Classics professor and civil rights activist Lucy Turnbull died Sunday at the age of 87. She taught classics for the university for over 20 years while also assisting James Meredith with the integration of Ole Miss back in 1962. The Oxford Police Department is searching for a suspect of an assault and attempted kidnapping that occurred during the Auburn game weekend. The victim was a woman that was grabbed from behind while on Van Buren Avenue by a white male in a zip-up jacket, light tan Costa ball cap, and an orange shirt. The victim fought off the attacker, then ran to a nearby residence to call 911. The university's Department of Theater and Film is making its big break into the Oxford Film Festival. The faculty of the department curated a block of films for the festival as part of its production emphasis. Behind these doors, more than 100 people are here to celebrate and experience the different cultures of the world, and based on the performance schedule, 8 countries are being represented. One of the ways the university tries to recruit diverse students is through its MOST conference, which aims to expose potential African American students to the campus and what it has to offer. The Office of Sustainability has more events coming up throughout the month of October to create more awareness for local produce and environmental wellness. Lauren Conley, Newswatch, Ole Miss. 20 years later, not only is he an athlete, he's also an outreach manager and inspirational speaker for Special Olympics Southern California. The funding that Plunkett is worried about is federal. The Department of Education's proposed budget for 2020 would eliminate all grant money for the nonprofit, dropping it from more than $17.5 million to zero. And news coming out earlier this afternoon, President Trump says he is now backing off the request to cut funding for Special Olympics, overriding Secretary DeVos. The deal includes $1.375 billion for 55 miles of new border barriers, funding for 75 new immigration judges, as well as money for humanitarian aid, improved technology at the ports of entry, and hundreds of new customs and border protection personnel. The $1.375 billion secured for border barriers, far below the $5.7 billion the president originally demanded. And a recent CNN poll shows that 66% of Americans are opposed to using a national emergency to build a border wall. The International and American Student Alliance at Ole Miss hosted its second annual International Culture Night at the Gertrude Ford Center. Co-president of their cross-cultural committee, Shivani Thapa, says the event gives international students a chance to show the campus who they are.
I think it's a really fun event where everyone gets to see the different cultures and the different countries that people come from, and it also kind of provides international students with a platform because we don't get many stage performance opportunities here.
Behind these doors, more than 100 people are here to celebrate and experience the different cultures of the world, and based on the performance schedule, 8 countries are being represented. The night included acts such as Irish dancing, fashion shows, and instrumental recitals. Co-founder of an Ole Miss Korean pop dance group, Delaney Mason, says her favorite part of the night was showing the audience how much work everyone put in to make the event successful.
I think everyone really enjoyed being able to showcase how hard we've worked throughout the semester on stage, finally getting to perform and show how far we've come.
Thapa says this is the biggest event this semester for the organization, but they hope to have more events like this in the future. Lauren Conley, Newswatch, Ole Miss. Talk about a joyful noise. The University of Mississippi Gospel Choir performs beautifully, a predominantly black organization on a predominantly white campus. Black Student Union President Jarvis Benson is a member of the choir. He's also using his voice to call for change.
My hope for the university moving forward in this time of uncertainty is to continue to listen to the student voice and to all student voices, but also to continue to fight for complete equity.
Benson wants all voices to be considered in decisions, not just those of university stakeholders. Interim Director of the Center for Inclusion and Cross-Cultural Engagement, Alexandria White, agreed to an audio interview. She says it's up to the students to lead the way on the changes they want to see on campus.
Your voice is your weapon, not in regards to violence, but your voice is something that you can use to bring about change. And I think the University of Mississippi students get that.
But it won't be easy for them. Recruiting more students of color continues to be a challenge. In a state with a black population of 37%, African American students currently represent 12.5% of the on-campus student population. That's down from a high of 16.7% in the 2012-2013 school year. Recruiting more students of color continues to be a challenge. Senior chemical engineering major Janice Hodges is from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. She says at first she did not see herself coming to Ole Miss.
I really didn't feel like Ole Miss would accept me for who I am, but with that being said, I found communities and organizations here who will gladly accept me and who will gladly take me for the woman I am, the black woman that I am, and help me respect myself even more and love myself even more from the day that I walked on campus.
One of the ways the university tries to recruit diverse students is through its MOST conference, which aims to expose potential African American students to the campus and what it has to offer. Although Hodges did not take part in the MOST conference, she came here because of the amount of scholarships available. She believes the university can also attract more black students by holding more forums with open dialogue.
Yeah, more platforms for the black student organizations on campus, more platforms for them to talk, more platforms for them to express how they feel and what they represent.
One student organization recently used its platform to inspire change on campus as they protested for the removal of Confederate symbols. Jarvis Benson was there and spoke up.
When immigrant rights are under attack, what do? Unite! Fight!
The question is the university listening? Lauren Conley, Newswatch, Ole Miss. From fresh vegetables and hummus to food demonstrations and door prizes, the Ole Miss Food Day Festival had it all. Sustainability fellow Jay Chalkley says the festival is a way to promote local food options to students.
It's important to showcase local produce because it gets a lot of students to come out to local markets, as well as it gets them to support local sustainable food systems in and around Oxford.
Local farmer and president of Harris Family Farm, Gladney Harris, recognizes the importance of events like this in educating people about sustainably grown products.
I think it's unbelievably important for people to know where their food comes from, because most of the time at a farmer's market, the farmer that you're buying produce from is feeding it to his own family, so he's more aware of the practices that they're using.
The Office of Sustainability has more events coming up throughout the month of October to create more awareness for local produce and environmental wellness. Lauren Conley, Newswatch, Ole Miss.